Everybody, it's Sarah. Um, Sorry the video's a day late. This has not been the best week for me. I've been sleeping all week and taking lots of pain pills because it's the only thing that helps. Taking lots of hot showers, trying to get my muscles to relax, and it's not doing a whole lot. Yeah, so didn't really do anything this week other than sleep. My mom will wake me up for food and when I need to drink something and take pills and stuff like that. But I didn't do anything interesting this week because I spent time sleeping. Kind of got me thinking about what I believe about God and suffering, because that's come up a lot in conversations with people about how can you still believe in God when you've got such a bad situation. And honestly, in my mind, it's like the exact opposite. How can I be in this bad a situation and still be happy and okay? And it's because I know God's in control. I mean, I'm not a theologist. I didn't study religion. I haven't even made it from cover to cover in the Bible yet. Working on it, but haven't gotten from one end to the other successfully. I'm a Christian, non-denominational Christian, but I haven't made it all the way through the Bible, which makes me sound like a horrible person. But I was thinking about my relationship with God, how I see Him as a friend and a father figure, and how different people relate differently to that. Some people see Him as a brother or as a sister sometimes, if they were who was taking care of them in a loving fashion. But my relationship with God is very, I don't know how to describe it in one word. I talk to Him all the time. I ask Him for help. I thank Him for all the good stuff He's done in my life and all the prayers He's answered. But I also, I complain like anybody else. I say, why am I in so much pain? Or can you take it from me? He hasn't decided to get rid of it yet, so we'll work through it. But all of that got me thinking about, how can God let His people suffer? Because it's a common problem that most people have when they think about God. It's like, how could there be a God when all of this bad stuff happens? When 9/11 happened, or where was He when the shooting in Florida happened? And He was there, but God gave us free will, and unless He decides to take that back or decides to start, killing everyone with the thought of murdering other people, that's not going to change. God gave us free will, so we have the freedom to make our own decisions, and unfortunately that means we can make really crummy decisions sometimes. Florida was a guy who wasn't right there, and he was having problems and decided to make a really bad decision. And there wasn't a whole lot other people could do about that. But I know this is so cliche, but I honestly believe that everything happens for a reason, that no one suffers unduly, that there's always a purpose. And when you think about things like 9/11 or even natural disasters, like it doesn't have to be a shooting, tsunamis or earthquakes, they tend to bring the world together. they get us all focused on one place and help, all of us are focused on helping that group or that person or that country, and we're all thinking about someone else for a change instead of focusing all on ourselves. And I think that's really good, honestly. I know it sucks when there's an earthquake and thousands of people die. That's horrible. It's incredibly sad, and I'm not saying that it's not. But when you think about how the world responds in those situations, almost always there's, relief centers get put up, you get people coming in who are doctors and nurses who come in to help out, and, there are food collections and clothing collections, and you really start to see the goodness in humanity, and that can be really hard to see in times like this when you've got bad stuff going on all around. So, I mean, that's how I think of it. I see suffering as there's got to be a reason. It can't be, in my head, I can't wrap it around where it could be, I'm going to let you suffer, and you're not going to get anything out of it. No one's going to get anything out of it. I also don't believe that, getting sick means that you've done something wrong. I've had people tell me that. It's like, man, what did you do to piss off God? And I don't believe that. I don't think that's why this is happening. I do believe that it could be, a test, like in Job with the Bible. I'm not saying I'm Job. I'm nowhere near his level of amazingness, but it can be a test. It can be to see how well you react under pressure, or how you learn to ask for help. It can be a lesson instead of a test. For me, I think this whole thing has been a gigantic lesson on multiple things. I think the quote that sticks with me is one that Morgan Freeman said in Evan Almighty when he was playing God. You've got the wife in the restaurant, and she's all upset after leaving her husband, and he says, well, if you pray for patience, do you think God is going to give you patience? Or is he going to give you the opportunity to practice patience? And I know it's a movie, but I think that's a really accurate statement. When you pray for bravery in a situation, God's not just going to magic, now you're brave. He's going to give you the opportunity to practice being brave. For me, I'm really bad about asking for help. I was the person who always helped other people. That was my thing. That's what gave me joy, was going and helping someone move, or buying them lunch, or if they're feeling sick that day, I can go and I've got friends where I've gone and done their laundry for them. They weren't feeling well, and it needed to get done, and they just couldn't do it. And I loved being able to do that for them. That made me happy. And then I got sick, and I can't do those things anymore. I can still pray for people. I can still sit with people and listen or talk or whatever they need on that front, but I can't go help a friend move into a new house. I can't do those physical things at the moment anymore. And I've had to learn how to ask for help in a lot of those situations, which is hard for me. I don't see it as weakness. I know that people need to ask for help, but it was just contradictory in my head of I'm the one that's supposed to be helping you. I shouldn't need help. I know that's so wrong, but it's totally how I thought. But I believe that's part of why I'm going through this. It's a lesson in humility. It's a lesson in learning to ask for help. I also believe that in the long run will be super beneficial because I will then be able to empathize with other people who are going through similar situations. I've already made several friendships along the way of people who are going through similar deals, and being able to talk to someone who truly understands what you're going through is really helpful. You don't realize on the outside how hard it is until you've truly been through it. I mean, people can say things like, "Oh, I get what you're going through," but unless they've actually dealt with it or something very similar, they can't really know how you feel. So I believe God's going to use this time in my life to help me help other people in the long run. Personally, that's what I believe. And I mean, dealing with chronic illness isn't easy. It's probably one of the hardest things, especially when you don't look sick. I've had people get mad at me for parking in handicap spots because I'm smiling and look happy, and like, well, so what's wrong with you? Why can't you park in another spot and give that to somebody else? And because I can't walk that far. I may not look it, but I have to use a wheelchair most of the time now because my legs won't carry me that far. My knees give out, my hips give out. I've had times where my back spasms so much that it temporarily paralyzes my legs. That happened at school in college once, and two of my very close friends had to literally pick me up and carry me to my room because I could not feel that my legs were there. I could move them, but I couldn't tell they were there. And it was terrifying. And I didn't know if it was going to stop or if that was going to be it. And it's just a little ridiculous sometimes because you don't. It's that whole empathy thing again. Unless you've been through it, you don't know what it's like. And when you're that helpless, it hurts. It feels horrible. But that's given me insight into how other people feel sometimes. But I mean, I don't have paralysis. I don't have that. But I can sympathize and empathize with someone who does because I have dealt with it. Not for years and years, but I can use that horrible time in my life where I couldn't care for myself to help someone else who's dealing with that. And I mean, I also honestly believe that God doesn't want us to have to suffer. I don't believe that's in his initial plan at all. Jesus died for our sins so that we wouldn't have to. And there's still suffering, but that's because we have free will. But that's still not what God wants in our lives. He doesn't want us to suffer. He doesn't want us to always be sick. He doesn't want that for us. One of my favorite verses, Jeremiah 29:11. I know it gets quoted a lot, but for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and hope. I think that really sums up what he wants in our lives, what he wants for us, and that's to be prosperous, not to be harmed, to be loved by him and by others. He wants to give us a future. He wants us to continue, and he gives us a hope so that we can. Well, I think that's it for tonight. Thanks for listening. Always remember, be safe, be happy, be you.